Ladies, gentlemen, and philosophical gladiators of the digital colosseum, gather your faculties and clutch your cerebrum tightly, for we now descend into a grotesque theatre of ideological paradoxon and performative vacuity, a veritable carnival of hypocrisy, where the Marxist musings of an ultra-wealthy WeHo dweller devolve into commodified cringe.
The actual concept of the art for Hassan's merch outside of the White House, I don't know. The whole thing is just like so cringy to me. It feels like it just feels like an episode of The Boys. I don't know how to, like, the idea that like a super white ultra wealthy guy living in WeHo is like having all of his super white wealthy fans who are like 18 to 22 who are all from like rich families, like buying merch of like guillotining political. It's just so cringe. God, it's so cringe. We should, you know who I'm at. You know who's going to add it to the list? I want to know if it's true or not. And we are going to add him to the list. Che Guevara. I've only read like brief things of this. I want to know if it's true. If this guy is as base as he seems to be. Did I? Oh, one day I'll spell his name correctly. I have not super read a lot into different revolutionary figures or whatever, but typically the way that it would go as a communist is like you fight for the people, you want to do a revolution, you want to save the people, you want to have a people's republic, you fight against these horrible dictatorial people, the Batistas, all these crazy people that work, right? But then what happens is as soon as the communists get in power, they're like, actually, this is actually kind of based. And authoritarianism is actually kind of cool. So we're just going to vanguard this for a while. And let's just like chill on the people's stuff. We'll like change the name of everything. And we'll just kind of like, we'll call it the people's whatever. And then like, I'll just like get all the money and influence and we'll just like kill everybody who disagrees. That's like based, right? And we'll just like chill in government. This is actually awesome. Okay. Seems to be the way that a lot of the communist people kind of go. But Che Guevara seemed to be the guy who was like, we're gonna do the revolution and we're gonna blow all the people up, and then now that we've installed this like new people's government, now I'm gonna go somewhere else and I'm gonna go blow that government up and fight for the revolution. And he died. I'm pretty sure he just died in where? In South America? He got captured by some people. He said like few. They shot him while he was he just seemed like he was he was like, I do believe in fighting for the revolution. And he goes and he does it. He did it over and over again until he died. He seemed pretty commendable. But he also was like 19 or something. People got real mad in the Congo. Oh, okay. But I don't know. Che Guevara seems, even if I don't agree with his views or his socials or any of that, at least he seemed like he fought for what he believed in. And I can respect that, all right? Isn't leaving and not ensuring the next country succeeds kind of childish? On the contrary, actually, one of my most important qualities for an individual is to know what you're good at and to know what you're not good at, and then to find other people to shore up your weaknesses. I think it's a really important quality in a leader. I think a really good example of being maybe an okay military guy and not being a good political leader but not realizing the difference is Yasser Arafat. Yasser Arafat had middling success as a military leader, but that's all he ever was, and that was probably all he could ever be. That's why he showed up to all of his negotiations in his stupid military outfit. That's why he sucked at politics. He sucked at negotiations. He sucked at peace. All he could ever really see himself as was like a revolutionary general. And he never really adopted the mantle of Palestinian leader, political leader, very effectively, I think. Another great example in history, I'm not as up on like the medieval European, but Robert Baratheon had a lot of trouble as well. Led a full-on revolution, deposed authoritarian, autocratic dictator, became a king in his own right, but wasn't good at leading. Not good. Leads to a lot of chaos.
At the center of this storm sits Hasanabi, ensconced atop a capitalist palladium, perched like a golden ibis, peddling proletariat platitudes to his affluent acolytes through guillotine-stamped tuniculae. The irony is as thick as Socrates' hemlock, and destiny, our merciless rhetorician of Logos, unsheathes his verbal scalpel with surgical precision. To witness Hassan's socialist merchandise, to behold a contradiction of such magnitude that even the Stoics would blanch in stupefaction. Here is a man whose ostensible alignment with the downtrodden proletariat is emblazoned not in praxis but in polyester. His wealthy, overwhelmingly white audience, cocooned in parental largesse, floods his coffers for the privilege of wearing symbolic guillotines, art as performative as Nero's lyre, while Rome's downtrodden smoulder. To Destiny, this is no revolutionary fervor. It is a corporatized parody, a grotesque commodification of dissent, wherein Marx's spectre is distilled into mere market share. The entire endeavor reeks of cringe, cringitas magnus, if you will. It calls to mind a farcical episode of The Boys, where ostensible heroes bask in their hypocrisy under the veneer of heroism. Is it not galling? Hassan, basking in hyper-capitalist affluence, grifts his ideology to those desperate for the dopamine rush of moral superiority, aesthetic revolutionaries whose struggle is confined to adding merchandise to cart. Destiny peers upon this facade with the glare of Diogenes' lantern, exposing Hassan's faux radicalism for what it is, an Ouroboros of contradiction. Now contrast this paltry pageantry to the fiery figure of Che Guevara, a man Destiny, while bereft of ideological alignment, admits embodied militant sincerity. Guevara, that veritable paragon of revolutionary fides, wielded his ideology not as merch, but as praxis incarnate. Where others saw revolution as a stepping stone to authoritarian comfort, Che rejected stagnation. Destiny lauds this unwavering fervor. Che was a peregrinator bellator, a man whose commitment transcended borders, doctrines, and personal gain. When one revolution succeeded, he eschewed autocratic comforts, donned his fatigues, and sought the next battlefield. What distinguishes Guevara from men like Hasanabi is the raw, intuitus conviction. To die in Bolivia, disheveled and defiant, is the telos of Che's lifelong battle against imperialist machinery. He did not peddle artifice, he embodied the struggle itself. Yet Destiny, ever the cynosure of ratio, tempers his admiration with realism. For all of Che's commitment to bellum perpetuum, his itinerant nature left an enduring conundrum, the inability to govern what he conquered. A revolutionary general, yes, but perhaps never a stable political leader. A flaw Destiny identifies not with disdain, but with clarity. A cautionary tale for leaders drunk on ideological zeal, but bereft of managerial acumen. This distinction is critical, for leadership demands knowing one's strengths and limits. Destiny, invoking figures like Yasser Arafat and even fictional exemplars like Robert Baratheon, emphasizes the peril of overstretching one's competency. Arafat, perpetually clad in military garb, failed to pivot from militant to statesman. His vision narrowed, his politics muddled, and his governance calamitous. Robert Baratheon, once a revolutionary hero, devolved into feckless leadership, incapable of consolidating his rebellion into a lasting reign. Herein lies Destiny's implicit criticism of Che. To know when to step aside, to cultivate successors, is as vital as the initial uprising itself. But for all Che's imperfections, he remains an exemplar of ideological authenticity, a revolutionary who never exchanged his convictions for comfort. Hasanabi, on the other hand, is rendered a caricatura vulgaris, a socialist in proclamation, but a capitalist in practice. Destiny's critique is not merely about the merch, it is about the systemic hypocrisy it unveils. To drape oneself in guillotine iconography while lounging in the lap of hyper-capitalist luxury is to commit an affront against ideological sincerity. It reduces socialism to an aesthetic, commodified rebellion for those who crave clout more than change. The uncomfortable reality Destiny exposes is that Hassan's revolution is a simulacrum, an exercise in consumption disguised as solidarity. Hassan, unlike Che, does not traverse jungles or wage battles. His revolution is waged from ergonomic chairs and gilded studios. He sells revolt to the same bourgeoisie he claims to oppose, a Marxist magician whose illusions fill his vault. Is this not the apogee of cringe, the summum malum of performative activism? The audience claps, not realizing they are the punchline. Destiny's roast, therefore, transcends mere insult. It is an auditio veritas, a reckoning of ideological fidelity. The capitalist chrysalis that Hassan inhabits is irreconcilable with his professed socialism, a dissonance so profound it verges on satire. If Guevara embodied praxis through sacrifice, Hassan commodifies ideology into polyester. His fans, perhaps unwittingly, pay tribute not to revolution, but to its commodification, a revolutionary fantasy manufactured, packaged, and shipped overnight. Yet Destiny, ever the dialectical maestro, recognizes a larger theme, the performative proclivities of modern online activism. Hassan is not alone. He is a symptom of an age where consumption masquerades as conviction and virtus is but a pose. In this sphere, Che's militant sincerity is an alien concept, for modern revolutions are fought not with rifles, but with retweets. To Destiny, this is not progress, but decadence, a far cry from the stoicheon of true commitment. In praising Che and roasting Hassan, Destiny articulates a profound philosophical tension, the gap between ideology and praxis, proclamation and sacrifice. Che Guevara, for all his flaws, lived and died by his beliefs. Hasanabi, by contrast, markets his beliefs while lounging in the gilded salons of capitalism. One embodies sincerity, the other sells its facsimile. And in this tragicomic theatre, Destiny is the lone voice of candor, shouting amidst the ideological void, reminding us that revolution is not merch. It is blood, sweat, and sacrifice. So let Hasanabi's merch stand as a cautionary tale, an effigy of ideological vacuous. Let Che Guevara's legacy serve as a reminder of militant sincerity, flawed but unyielding. Destiny, our rhetorical arbiter, offers us both the evisceration and the aspiration. If we are to speak of revolution, let it not be with polyester upon our backs, but with praxis in our bones. Anything less is merely theatre. Finis.